Hello, my fellow project managers. How you doing this evening? Your buddy Phil here, project management trainer and coach. Thank you for your patience in waiting for this stream to begin. Microsoft folks decided through their programming that my computer needed to restart itself. Out of nowhere. So after that dog and pony show was done, only then was I able to get this camera rolling. But anyway, I hope you're having a good second day of January 2019. Did you guys make a mistake today when you were writing your dates? I did. PMP, did that happen to you as well? I'm not telling. You know why he's grumpy? He's grumpy because Yolanda dealt with him on the 31st of December. She dealt him a massive blow to the head. And that was the end of Pimpy's little trick, trying to get people in a chokehold. She got him in a chokehold. So that was a lot of fun and games. And of course, this other character was extremely happy. Anyway, we're not hearing from him tonight. But I hope you guys are doing awesome. It's the second day of January. I hope you are in the swing of doing what I told you on this channel. I put out a video and I said, don't be afraid to leap. You got to take risks. Now, I'm not saying be careless, but at the same time, don't be a chicken. Take the risks you need to. Some people are chickens when it comes to the PMP. Oh, I don't want to put my resources into it because I may fail. You've already failed. The moment you're thinking about failing in that regard, you've already failed. So don't be like that, all right? Let's get this exam under our belt in 2019. You got to do whatever it takes, folks. Whatever it takes to get certified, do it. Why should you? Because it will make a difference on your resume. Why should you care about that? Well, you should care about that because no one knows tomorrow. I talk about different individuals who have said, I'm not going to take the exam, only to realize that there are some adjustments in the company. Management decided to move stuff around and their jobs got axed. So now they became project managers, as it were, by force, And I'm not saying that's going to happen to everyone, but being a PMP is definitely better than not being a PMP. Some of you have been through the journey. Just finish it, all right? Anyway, tonight we're going to be speaking about how many people are PMPs in the world. How many people are PMPs in 2019 as we are starting off right now? That's exactly what we're going to find out. Now, if you did send in a question, I do apologize. My computer on my right-hand side here has decided to shut down. Well, it shut down and has only just rebooted, so I'm not able to get to any of the questions that you guys sent in, but I promise I will be covering any questions you have on this channel, okay? Now, Jason, you sent in a question earlier. I'm going to tackle your question later on. So this is going to be like a 2-in-1. I'm going to answer two questions. The typical question of folks getting into this for the first time is, so how many PMPs are there in the world? Is it worth doing? I've heard this from so many people. A lot of my students in Europe, they're typically skeptical. They're like, should I go for this thing? Or should I just do the Prince too? And I tell them, well, if you are going to be international, it makes sense to be a PMP. Why wouldn't you be? A lot of folks who were on the sidelines a while back have decided to come on the journey, and that's exactly how it should be. If you are in this for the long haul and you're really in it to affect organizations, your organization, get your career on a positive trajectory, just get certified. You never know when you're going to need these things. For example, I did 3 certified internet webmaster certifications in the year 2000. Some of you were still in high school then. But I did this back in 2000, and now I'm finding it useful, those exams I took. In fact, there was a job where I would not have gotten into the door into the IT effectiveness group if I did not have some web background. some web understanding about how e-commerce worked and how HTML worked and how Flash worked and putting together stuff on the web. I would not have gotten that job. In the same token, being a PMP can help your career. It can help you better communicate with project managers who are now here to stay, by the way. Contrary to the grouchy people from a particular department in the company who feel project managers are hopeless and are not needed. Or some people feel in a particular part of the world of business, project managers aren't needed. Don't fool yourself. You might be a project manager in disguise, for all you know, because project managers are those who help move the company from point A to their future state, point B, or whatever that might be. Okay? So if people around you are thinking of taking the PMP exam, don't discourage them. It is a good thing. And most recently, the companion document to the PMBOK guide was revealed. Let's read what it says. Read for me. Agile Practice Guide. You see, it is a complementary book. We're not in a competition between fully plan-driven and change-driven. They are meant to complement each other. Okay? So if there are people around you that are thinking of, taking the PMP exam, do not discourage them. Let them go for it. Encourage them. And if you're one of those people, you are in the right space, because they are currently, are you ready? Ready for it? This is where the big reveal takes place. How many PMPs are there in the world? We are about to find out. So, as at now, the count for PMPs in the world is, drumroll, wait for it, it's coming. Let's first of all talk about the PMI members in the world. PMI membership in the world is 554,660. The total number of PMPs in the world is 889,950. That is a boatload of PMPs, folks. We're going on 1 milli PMPs. That should tell you something, shouldn't it? 1 million people can't be stupid. 1 million people, they got some sense. 1 million people said, we're going to get on the bandwagon and do this thing, because we know we're almost doomed if we don't. But contrary to that, a lot of project management lawyers, my buddy Jeff Bell, PMP, shout out to him, he calls these people the PMP lawyers, or the project management lawyers. People who feel the PMI should be judged and hanged at the stake, burnt at the stake, I don't know. Speaking of which, those are some angry stakeholders, aren't they? But in all seriousness, folks, these numbers are quite impressive. 889,000 PMPs. We're not even talking about the membership. There are more PMPs than there are members in the world. That should definitely tell you something. Let's look at the other certifications. Another favorite is the CAP-M. There are 36,860 in the world. And if you hold a particular certification and you have numbers that you would like me to share on this channel, I will be more than happy to get those numbers from you. So if you know how many CSMs there are in the world, I would like to know that. If you know how many SPHRs there are in the world, I would like to know that. If you know how many people have the CBAP, I would like to know that. All right. So this isn't just about the PMI, ITIL, Prince 2. I like knowing those numbers. CCNA and what have you, CISSP. I would like to know those numbers. So if you've got those numbers and you would like to share some background on the channel, you're more than welcome. Just let me know, shoot a message, and we can make that happen. But these are the numbers from the PMI. The PMI, they're very gracious to share this with REPs, Registered Education Providers, every month. So it is very likely that if you are being trained by a registered education provider, they also know about this. Okay, so this is public knowledge to the REP domain. People in the REP domain are aware of this, and Tara is always on the ball to send these to us. So I really appreciate her sending these to us. Total program management professional certification holders in the world, there are 2,517. And if you look at the previous episodes of this, where I share these statistics, you'll see that there has been a massive jump from when I first shared the PMP credential holders around the middle of the year last year. I think we've seen definitely at least a 30,000 climb in the number of PMPs. And just so you know, these are numbers that fluctuate based on the people taking the exam and those jumping off the bus. We got a lot of people hopping off the bus saying, I'm done. I don't want to be a PMP anymore. And I feel sorry that those people do that. Instead of doing that, how about getting into a retirement status with your PMP rather than just letting it lapse? And speaking of letting it lapse, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the few days I was not a PMP in 2018. That's going to be an interesting story on this channel. But anyway, those are your PGMPs. It's been a modest climb for the PGMPs. Taking a look at the next page here, our next statistic of interest is the PMI-SP, which I have. There has been a marginal increase in the number of SPs, scheduling professionals in the world. I think it's a great certification to have if you are a scheduler, if you've worked in scheduling, as I have, for various organizations. You've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of scheduling, the 1,000 line long schedules, the 10 line long schedules, and the incredibly long 20,000 line schedules, like I've seen in none other than your favorite scheduling software, name withheld, because I don't want to promote them. They should pay me some money to do that. But you definitely know about this company, trust me, name withheld. But if you schedule with those software tools, those that are new, those that are old, those that have been around, you should consider this. You should consider the PMI-SP. It's not a bad one to have. Next on the list is another one that I've got, the PMI-RMP, and they are an impressive 5,000 PMI-RMP credential holders in the world. And I'm quite happy that they are, because risks should be something that every business thinks about. You know, if you are in business and you're not thinking about risks, you are at risk, because you're not thinking about what could go wrong, and you're not being observant as far as what could go extremely well. So I want to encourage you, if you're in the world of risk management, look into the PMI-RMP. Very recently, the PMI have revamped the standard for risk management, and it is a very interesting read that I would highly recommend to anyone. If you are a PMP and you have not taken a look at the risk management standard by the PMI, I want to encourage you to do that. I think it will add some value to your PMP exam certificate that you already have. And those folks who may have the question as far as, okay, where do I get training on this, or should I just start off on my own? I want to encourage you to go to the Praizion site, the Praizion.com. If you go to the Praizion site and you just browse around, like if you scroll down, like here, you can see that the risk doctor, Dr. David Hilson, and we've teamed up to present a curriculum, the Risk Management for Professionals curriculum. Honestly, I think this is the best curriculum for the RMP exam that I have ever come across. And I'm not just saying this because I was part of it, but I'm saying this because I truly learned a ton. Trust me when I say a ton. I learned a ton of stuff from the risk doctor. Hey, I got schooled by the doctor. The doctor was in the house. He delivered the goods. I learned a ton of stuff from David Hilson, the risk doctor. So if you are thinking of taking the risk management professional exam and you haven't hit up this curriculum, hey, don't say your buddy Phil didn't try to help. Go sign up for that curriculum and you'll be glad you did. All right, let's go back onto these certification records here. The next one here is another one I've got called the PMI-RMP, the PMI Agile Certified Practitioner Certification. And currently there are an astronomic, based on how short it's been out, 24,728 ACP holders in the world. And I think this is the sign of things to come, that Agile is definitely becoming a way of life. It's a way of thinking. I mean, gone are the days when someone would say, are you Agile? You got to be Agile. If you're not, you're going to be left behind. If you snooze, you're going to lose. So these days, when people say, are you fully plan driven? Are you change driven? You got to hybridize all this stuff. And that's why the PMI in your favorite book, none other than the PMBOK guide, in your favorite book, the PMI, they've got a section which I call the CTTCs. You know, the concepts, the trends, the tailoring, and the consideration for Agile. It's in this book. So if you haven't been looking at your CTTCs, you're missing out on some of the gold that's in the 6th edition. Never before had the PMI come out with CTTCs, concepts, trends, tailoring, and considerations for Agile, because you as a project manager, you should be considering Agile methods. You should be asking the question, how can we leverage Agile to our advantage in the firm? Okay, so that's the next certification that's out. Really great certification in my opinion. I had lots of fun taking that exam in Falls Church, Virginia when I was training a company out there. I decided to jump on the bandwagon and do it. And here's the interesting story, folks. For my ACP exam, when I took it, this book, the Agile Practice Guide, was not available. I think it would have added some value to my prep if it was available. But anyway, I've since then read it. I think it's a great read, of course, for anyone taking the ACP exam. And I took the ACP exam, like I said, in Falls Church, Virginia. I believe that was 2016. You know, I've taken so many of these things. Sometimes I can't even remember which year I took some of them. But the ACP exam, what I quite like about the exam is, one, never before had I truly used the Prometric Test Center's full arsenal. In prior exams, because I've taken 6 of these things, in prior exams, I didn't explore the full arsenal of the strikeout functionality, the highlighting functionality, so on and so forth. But this time, I absolutely used every single bit of the functionality. And I also enjoyed taking the test. I was told to pull up my trousers, pants as we call them here, and my socks and ankles inspected. For those of you that haven't taken a PMI exam, it is quite a dog and pony show in some test centers. And never before had I had the wand. You know, I think that was a new addition at some point. Some centers do that, others I didn't have the fortune of experiencing that, but at Falls Church I did. So a lot of what my students moan and groan about or laugh about, I was given first-hand opportunity to go through that whole dog and pony show. In fact, one of my students said, Phil, in a particular test center, I was told to take off my engagement rings and my glasses. My goodness. This is definitely the TSA of test taking. But anyway, I took the ACP, like I said. I had lots of fun. I discovered a lot that I hadn't experienced before. Next certification here is the Portfolio Management Professional. I made a feeble attempt to get this done, and it's on my list to do. But anyway, right now there are 625 portfolio management professionals in the world. The next one here is the PMI-PBA, 3,044 certification holders in the world. And actually, one of my students, a shout out to VJ, Mr. Selvaraj. If you are watching, you are a boss in the PMI-PBA, aren't you? You need to remind me when you got certified. I believe a couple of my students have actually done this. So VJ, I know did you get CAPM certified as well? If you're listening to this, VJ, let me know. Send me a message and let me know if you were able to pull this off. I could actually go to the PMI registry, but my other computer is recovering from its forced start. So I cannot do that right now. But anyway, I hope you're enjoying this information, and I hope it is enabling you see that the PMI has put project management on the map. Okay, now talking about putting project management on the map, worldwide, there are currently 299 PMI chapters with a total chapter membership of 289,903 people. So what you need to glean from this is that PMI chapter membership is different from PMI membership. They are 500 plus, as you saw in the world, when it comes to the PMI membership. In fact, let me give you the actual number. Number of PMI members in the world is 554,660, but the number of those who belong to chapters as members is 289,903. Okay, so there's quite a number of people affiliated with the PMI. And I doff my hat to the PMI for what they've done. They've maintained the momentum. They've kept it going for many years. And I mean, if this was a flaky organization, it would have long since fizzled out. For those who are waiting in the wings for the PMI to fizzle out, well, good luck to you. For those who have nothing but not too pleasant things to say, good luck to you as well, because I don't even believe in that. But anyway, it's been a pleasure presenting this to you tonight. I appreciate you joining. If you have any messages, comments, maybe concerns as you prepare for your PMP exam, it will be a delight to be able to answer some questions for you. So don't hesitate to send any of those questions in. I want to give some shout outs to some of our friends who are currently watching. Charlene, thank you very much for your chat. I appreciate that. VJ Kumar, you obviously have issues, and it would be a pleasure if you did not come to any more of our sessions. It is unfortunate that we have undesirable elements like this on YouTube. But apart from that, not so savory comment, I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to send them in. And I look forward to speaking to you again very, very soon. All the best in your PMP prep. And bye for now.